welcome to another episode of Galadari on Air. Today we will be speaking with Mahmoud Almashhadani, Senior Associate at Galadari Advocates. Mahmoud is a criminal law expert and litigator who has an excellent working relationship with police and public prosecutors. His criminal practice focuses on a whole spectrum of crimes from high-level embezzlement, fraud, breach of trust, and many more. More recently, Mahmoud has been handling the firm's cybercrime cases, including cyber fraud and defamation. In 2018, Mahmoud authored a book titled Organized Crimes. Hello, Mahmoud. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Julia.
Out of all interesting topics you are dealing with, we will be talking about forgery today. How serious of a crime forgery is?
Well, we are speaking about forgery today because it's one of the most popular crimes here and most of the dangerous and considered as a dirty crime in the UAE. And basically, I wanted to speak about the forgery in as a general, then the forgery in the cyber way, how they are using the forgery in cyber.
Is there any difference in law when it comes to using forgery in an official or non-official document?
Yes, I will give you a definition first about the forgery as general, and then we speak about the penal code, how they are dealing with the penal code, then the cyber code, which is also a new amended. The forgery is basically changing the facts in any instrument, any document, official and non-official, any kind of document, any kind of Emirates ID, passport, that's an official document. Rent contract could be an official document if it's stamped and issued by the municipality. A degree has been changed with some information or been amended as a forgery, also is an official document. The non-official documents is the contracts, is anything belongs to personal company, private company, personal information. These are the private or we say non-official document. Now, we need to make a difference between forgery as a general in the penal code, which is when you are using an original document not made by the cyber way. Like, let's say it's made by hand. Could be a fake signature on a check bounce or a check. You can fake the signature. That's one of the examples now coming to the forgery in check bounce cases or the checks. Or making a forgery on a contract. We have an example before. If you see the employer signs on behalf of the worker and signs on his behalf that that's a forgery using or misuse his signature. And it goes to different levels. Now, if we go by the cyber, is when you create a document, when you make a fake degree in law, in medicine, as a fake experience letter, as a driver or a cook or any kind of job. It doesn't matter if it's a high-level job, skills, non-skills, it all goes under forgery. Now, if you make it, I've given examples many of the time in many lectures or many classes. They are using a specific programs. One of them is known as Adobe Reader or Adobe Photoshop. You have the Photoshop main one. You have different kind of programs, even if they're using the phone or the computers, to change the fact in the document. And when I'm telling you the document can be changed, you can remove a signature, you can add a signature, you can remove a text, add a text, remove the picture, change it with another picture, whatever happens. Now, why the forgery considered as a dirty crime? Because it's based on deceiving and it's based on the bad faith and the dirty motive. Now, if I give a small example, in murder cases, when you have a murder by poison, it's different than murder by shooting or hitting by the car or even beating. These doesn't have the same dirty motive in the poison. With the poison is that he planned and he put that and he's willing to kill him with the poison. So it's called a dirty motive or a very bad motive. In the forgery is the same thing. When I'm changing a document, my aim is to damage either a company or to deceive a person to obtain something in return, which is I'm given my degree, I want to get a job. I'm given a fake driving license and the manager of the company believes me and give me a job, a high job, including as a driver and, or let's say, is a sales and with the driving. So there's a different salary will be designed. So I have deceived the company. So once they find out, I never had a driving license, I never drive before, I never done any tests, so that's called a deceiving. Now, another example for the forgeries, if somebody will fake his degree also to join a college or to join a master degree, which has happened many times, they get their certificate from abroad, comes from different countries. They already stamp it. They already change the degrees to get um, a place or a seat in a very respective university. Let's say like something like Sorbonne or Ajman University, Dubai University, whatever name it is. So the easy way to change, they change the marks or change them. That's why there was always a monitoring on these kind of degrees and takes a long time to verify. And sometimes they wrote back to the embassies or colleges to be sure if it's the same marks. Now, we will speak also on the cybercrime, how they consider as a forgery as penal law and cybercrime. As I said, if the forgery made manually by hand or manually by people, or some machines are done manually, like typing, a forged stamp, or they made a special stamp and they forged the similar, they copy the stamp. That is a manual. A forgery goes under the penal law. And if you are using that forged documents by an email, or you scan it, or you are sending it by WhatsApp program or any other program, or by phone, or you capture it, that goes under the cyber. And sometimes the both laws will be involved, the penal law and the cyber.
How difficult is it to prove forgery?
Well, the burden of the proof is on the complainer. When you complain, you have to show the police and the prosecutor or the judge in the future why you claiming is forged. Example, if somebody forged your signature, most of the people, they should have their signature specimen, or they have their signatures in the bank and they can get a paper from the bank that is not his signature. They can also request the police to send them to the lab and to do the signature test, which is they go and they sign in front of someone, an expert, and they measure the signatures made by hand. Most of the time, they find out if the signature is not matching. So you already know it's not your signature. Sometimes, if someone has the original document and something made in the cyber, they can prove this is not have been made in the company letterhead or the company stamp. So the police or the forensic ask for the original stamp, and they measure the stamp with the made electronic stamp made in the document. As we see in many examples, sometimes we receive a paper saying this is central bank. They put the stamp of the central bank, but you can tell by eye that is not dissimilar, but you can also verify. They would say it is not the same stamp. Or sometimes they send a letter from the bank, you have a loan, so you already know it's fake. As I said, the burden of proof is on the company. If they seen we had a similar company case before, and they had a legal notice sent to someone, and when we checked, the stamp of the company was not incorrect. This was made, it looks like it's made electronically. They move something, and it will never come accurate, by the way. It's very difficult, even if they are using programs. This is what I want the audience to know, or the people when they listen to know. I know the crimes are developed with the technology, but you should understood also the technologies of the state here is also well developed. So there's a way to find out the mistakes in the forgery or the weak points in the forgery. The stamps, when you get the original stamp and you clarify, they will take an empty letterhead from the company and they take a stamped, an empty paper, which is with the stamp alone, and they take a letterhead with the signature of the manager or who's authorized on the company, and there they will verify with the technologies, with the machines they have, they can find out this is faked. So always I say, look for the proof that you can give, support the authorities. Forgery claiming is, I know it's not easy, but it's very also easy if you have the proof, which is you can find out. Is if it's a lease contract, are you can sign it or not? You didn't do that. If it's not a check, not your checks, not your signature, you can also verify and go to the notary and do a specimen signature and provide it to the state here or to the police and say, this is not my signature, this is my real signature. I request you to send it to the lab. And the lab will do most of the job case.
Thank you, Mahmoud, for these insights. If you have any questions regarding forgery or any criminal matter, reach out to Mahmoud on mahmoud@galadarilaw.com.